So Benster, you just did an amazing set here in the Ding Dong apartment, and you had such a nice wave of energy throughout the mix.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering how you... Is it something that just comes naturally, or is it something that you prepared and like thought about how to achieve that?
Yes, there's definitely a process that I went through to achieve that.
So how does that start? Like when I contact you and say, "Hey, do you want to come and do a mix?" What's the next step then?
Well, I mean, you told me a little bit about what Ding Dong DJ is and what it stands for, what it's gonna be.
Sure.
And I took that into consideration, and I thought of me, where I stand right now as a DJ, and my sound. And also trying to showcase an all-around Benster.
Yeah.
What I can do in all the different genres, but mostly also to just bring that energy that I normally bring in my harder sets into a living room situation like this.
Sure.
And that was fun. And that is it's always fun to have a goal with the set, or to have an idea of what you are going to paint, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So you go through. You have you played a couple of records as well.
Yeah.
Did some files.
Yeah.
Are like the first step? Is it going through your collection, or is it checking your record box of what you already have, or is the first instinct to explore and go like YouTube, or I don't know where you get your music?
Yeah, I mean many different places. Today the last thing I did was to collect the records.
Okay.
Normally I always go through, if I know it's a vinyl set or a what's it called, a duo set, hybrid set.
Yeah.
Then I would normally go with the vinyls first.
Yeah.
But this time I didn't. I had, because we had actually talked about the setting, and I wanted to bring it a little further down in vibe energy, or a little more like fitting this room. So I had already prepared a whole list with many things from YouTube, from SoundCloud, from Spotify, from places. And then I typically sit and I compile until just up until the set.
Yeah.
And then I get everything down in my different folders and my records collected, and then we go.
And is it completely set, the track list, or do you have like some wiggle room if...
Yeah, lots of wiggle room all the time, because you never really know. I mean, when you're standing there, is the energy exactly what you want it to be, or...
Okay.
It's never so it's always great to leave space for wiggle room, which I do. And today I ended up playing actually a track that I had not expected.
Okay.
Just because I felt it.
Yeah, you felt like
right?
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And if I hadn't brought it, I wouldn't have been able to play it, right?
Sure. So always bring some extras.
That's what I
like a common rule.
To say, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And the music that you played, is it? Yeah, going back to where you find stuff, because for a lot of new DJs and for just people who loves music, I feel like finding music outside of Spotify is something that's not common. So like you as a DJ and as a music lover, do you have different channels, or do you have like somewhere you're always going to be able to find stuff that you like, or
Yes, I love going to record shops.
Yeah,
we have some cool ones here in Copenhagen. But I have started going more and more on Bandcamp.
Yeah,
actually.
Nice.
And so both Bandcamp is, and honestly, I still use Spotify a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot when finding new
tunes.
Me
too.
And it is just a really, really great place to find new tunes.
Yeah.
But what I then do is I always know if I'm checking out a specific artist, then I always know to also check for stuff that artist has made on the other different channels, because Spotify doesn't have the newest stuff all the time.
Sure.
And plus there's a lot of vinyl only things that maybe only come out on Bandcamp exclusive digital that won't come out on Spotify, right?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I feel like that's a good trick to find an artist and then find maybe similar artists or the label, and then explore deeper in through this one track or this one artist, and then just go like find this guy's friends
Exactly.
and like okay,
That's like
did he host a party sometime? Okay, let's see who else played and stuff like that.
Yeah,
that's always a good way in.
Yeah, totally. And there's many things. There's exactly. There's like this EP who was also on this EP.
Yeah.
Whoa, like that's a brother of that person. Oh, that's a whole other band. That's whoa, you know. I love that, and I can if I have the time, I can totally deep dive for like many hours.
And I guess like the job as a DJ is it's mostly that, you know, what we're talking about right now. Playing a set at a club for an hour or 2 hours, or the set you played now, it's like the flower of the tree, and the tree is actually the search and the exploration
100%.
into the music.
It's the tip of the iceberg, right?
Yeah. So you gotta enjoy that search as well, the hunt.
Yeah. I mean, that's why I keep walking to and from gigs with heavy record bags.
Yeah.
And that's why I spend so much time in the online searching for tunes and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's the hunt. It's when you find that track.
Yeah.
And you just can't stop your face from just gurning all up because of the like, bass face.
Yeah.
And all these like I love the search.
Sometimes it's like when you find that track and you know it's gonna hit really well on like a dance floor or some kind of setting, and you feel like you've gained some like a new weapon in your arsenal.
Yes.
To like win the war of spreading love and music and positivity.
Yeah, you're right. And that also happens with old things that have been that's been lying around in one's collection for a while.
Maybe you forgot about.
Yeah,
wonderful. So the set you played today was, of course, we're at home, so it's a bit more chill. But when you play out, is there a different vibe you're going for, or is there something that's like, this is Benster's sound, and then you try to fit that into the crowd that you go to, or how do you think about that?
Mm-hmm. That's a good question. Recently, it's all gone up. So I have had a little, like, the summer has just been hefty.
Yeah.
So I haven't had that much time to think about. I've just been going full throttle, right? So it's but here the past month or so, I've been really like thinking about what is it I want to like bring.
Yeah.
And can there be a consistent red thread in it, whether it's chill or it's peak or it's warm up, whatever. And I believe there is, and I believe I have actually succeeded more or less in that, because it's always percussion driven.
Okay.
That's my definite energy towards. And somebody asked me recently, like, what do you mean percussive driven? Because house is percussive.
Sure.
But
the emphasis sometimes is more on the melody or the percussion or
exactly. Yeah. And man, I tend to bring out tunes that has the percussion and the drums in focus. They're more ahead in the mix.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I just love a good jack, and that's basically that's what I bring, while still continuously evolving as both a DJ and like what I play, my skills, but also the tunes I bring.
Okay.
Because that's also in a constant, you know, we're moving through the times, and the house, specifically house genre, is always in
evolving,
full evolving, right? And going out to all different small subgenres and stuff. But it's fun. It's really fun, and I get a kick out of really trying to be that step or two ahead of the other DJs.
Sure.
In bringing this like upcoming stuff and like stuff that, if I get a hand on a promo, I'm like, yes, you know, because then I can portray something that hasn't been portrayed before, and I can contribute to that build of the scene.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're doing it to please a crowd, to please yourself, but also to like battle the other DJs who's standing in the back, like looking over your shoulder.
Yeah.
It's like a graffiti artist when they do a throw up or whatever.
Exactly.
It's usually not for the common people. It's for the other graffiti artists to see. Oh shit,
exactly.
he did that,
Yeah.
and you're doing that.
Yeah.
But you're doing a lot this year as well.
I am
Because I feel like, I've known you some time, and we've played together a couple of times as well. And this year you started a mix series on YouTube on your own channel.
Yes.
And I feel like that's where it really kicked off. Like this year kicked off with those mixes.
Yeah.
And one in particular.
Yeah,
Do
the
you
the first one.
Yeah, that was the first one?
Yeah. So basically back in late December last year, I felt like getting away from the city for a little.
Yeah.
So I got my hands on my friend's summer house, and I went there for a week, and just to like detach.
Yeah.
And just
important.
Yeah. And I brought my my record players and a mixer and a ton of records, and I was like, I needed to do something creative.
Mm-hmm.
So I set up the whole setup in front of the couch in the summer house, and I recorded it for an hour, and I put it up on my YouTube without really thinking more of it. I was like, okay, fine, you know, that's gonna do good. I have other videos up there, which is they've been there for 10 years, and maybe they've racked up 1,000 views.
Yeah,
I didn't really put any.
You're a young veteran already.
Yeah. I have other mixes up there.
Yeah,
But,
sure.
but so I did it in a new unit of time, and then all of a sudden, pretty fast, it just went completely.
It got picked up.
Got picked up by some algorithm or something, and now I think it's almost on 400,000 views.
Yeah.
And then it still keeps going, and that just gave me. Blood on the teeth.
Yeah.
It gave me.
But it gave you what you needed to do this crazy job, because I'm a friend and a colleague, and I've followed you this year, and I feel like that initial recognition you got from that mix, and like you've been playing for many years.
Yeah.
But like getting that acceptance or that feeling of people wanting more.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, now I have the energy to go crazy this year. And
Exactly.
I'm gonna play all the time. And you are playing like all the time.
Yeah.
So do you find time to relax like you did in the beginning of that mix when you went to the summer house?
I actually
have you come back like full circle to that state of?
Well, more or less.
Okay.
I just like last week I was I also did like 2 summer houses in a week kind of thing, just in Sweden and in the south of Sjælland.
But with no mixer and
with no mixer this
okay.
time. I literally this time I just had to like completely detach.
Sure.
I actually did produce some, like we did produce some tunes and stuff anyway, but yeah, I wanted to like let go of the DJ just for a week.
Yeah.
And because it's been wild, like the whole summer has been so crazy. But yes, I am coming back, and I'm coming back in a more grown-up way about the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm more ready to, because I'm finding myself in this new normal.
Yeah.
And as long as I just keep it as a normal, like if this is a job, I just play 4 times a week now. That's what I do, and if I just keep it like this, then it's fine and great, and then I am happy through it all. And
all right.
And yeah.
Yeah, because the hard thing about it is that you're not just going out to play; you got to promote everything you do as well.
Yeah.
So like the new thing of being not only the DJ but also the promoter of the party. It's like you have to be a character somehow, and or maybe you don't. Maybe it's just something that we think you have to do. But
yeah,
what's your thoughts on like managing your social media and your time and your peace while still getting the jobs that you want?
Yeah, I mean, it's not easy.
No,
it's not easy, and I still have to find out a smarter way to go about it. I think, because I spent way too much time on Instagram, on promoting and on just building my brand, right?
Yeah.
And it's hard, but it's hard.
Yeah. Talking about this past year and the weekend after weekend after weekend where you've been playing all around Copenhagen. What have been like the peaks? What have been the most memorable nights that you've had?
There's been some. I mean, it definitely the closing after Mark Knight at the Gravity Party at Stagebox in March, I think it was crazy wild. April,
Yeah?
I think it was. Yeah, that was wild. That was the biggest gig I had ever played, and it was like such a huge stage setup and like monitors on each side bigger than me, and I'm like, what the frick? But that was fun, and like, here you go, and the crowd is all the way down there, and I'm like, that was wild. That was definitely, that was wild. It's been and then I've also played another gig for Gravity, also on the top of Copenhagen. That was also wild. And then I've had some crazy gigs and a whole production I did at Roskilde Festival called the Dream City Affair. I did with a bunch of great people.
What is that exactly?
It basically comes from over the summer I've had a summer residency at Reffen Street Food.
Okay.
Where every one Sunday of the month I have invited in two vinyl, not only vinyl, but two cool DJs with me. And then we just play tunes for 8 hours. That was the Detox Affair.
Okay.
Then I was contacted by the Moment Festival if I wanted to do a warm-up for their festival, and we then ended calling that the Retox Affair.
Yeah.
And then at Roskilde Festival we did the Dream City Affair.
Okay.
The Dream City is a part of Roskilde Festival camping area.
Yeah.
And I basically teamed up with 3 big camps there and invited 20 DJs in.
Okay, could you name a few?
Well, we had Naima, we had Max Finney, we had Dival, Amanda Baun, Tilde Dyrnes, upcoming, super cool DJ. We had
so like all the top shelf Danish DJs.
I mean, at least here and there, you know.
Yeah, and some new ones as well.
Some new ones, some veterans.
And you're curating
some crazy
the
stage
lineup.
divers and all that.
And you're curating the lineup.
I curated the lineup, yeah.
Okay.
And then a bunch of my friends helped me, like doing all the administrative parts of it and the logistics, and we got a bunch of stuff for free for the parties and stuff. It was
cool.
That was awesome, and that was like 3 days of pure mayhem, and 20 DJs throughout those 3 days. That was power.
Okay.
Yeah, and then of course the 21G parties has been. It's been a dream come true to like hook up with you're part of it. Hey,
sure.
With you and the others.
Well, I know all about 21G, but for those who don't, what is it?
Well, I mean, we're a community of music loving people that also more or as well as loving the music also loves the community around it. And we tend to focus more on the people at the parties rather than the DJs.
Sure.
We want to somehow make it a party for everyone, and we involve the doormen, the bartenders, the DJs, the dancers, like everybody.
Yeah.
You know, and we try to put a loving touch to the nightlife.
Okay. How is that, when you're an aspiring DJ and wanting to play more and do bigger parties, the thing of promoting as well and putting on your own parties and putting on your own concepts, is that like a natural progression, or is that something like everyone should do, or is it, would you recommend that for upcoming DJs who's maybe trying to find a place to play? Is that a normal thing? Or is
I mean, I'm not sure I understand the question.
the question is really, is it possible to have a DJ career in a small place like Denmark without also contributing with the back end of the party? Because a singer or a band, they will usually just get gigs.
Yeah.
But I see a lot of DJs who also put on their own stuff and do their own parties and invite DJs from different places and, doing that, the 360 around the party.
That is definitely. I would recommend it, but as
Do you
much
see, do you
as
see a gain from it, or is it just more hassle?
I am. It's a lot of hassle, but there's a lot of gain to be made from it.
Okay.
I mean, it's part of you or the DJ becoming a part of a community, right?
Sure.
And some people like to be the spectator in the community, and some people like to be the sport player or whatever, the person who is creating stuff for the participator to participate in.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's the way I see it, at least.
Okay.
And I like to be more hands on the production side of it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But not so much that it takes away my true love, which is the DJing part of it, right?
Sure.
So, and that's always it. The Dream City affair was a little too much work.
Okay.
Versus DJing, right?
Okay.
But it was fine. I learned a lot from it, and it was, and I will gladly do it again. And so, yeah,
that's nice.
I would recommend as an upcoming DJ to definitely get
involved
with the community.
Okay, but that's basically it. Get involved.
That is it.
Yeah.
And then find your spot, find your place, whether that is the graphic side of something, or if it's the booking side of something, or the,
Yeah, sure.
That's what I definitely.
But you just told, like, we just touched on a couple of the peaks, or like the nights that meant a lot to you.
Yeah.
Has there been times when it's like really shitty, or when you've been drained of energy, or if you played for a crowd that like really wanted something else, or has there been any evenings or gigs where it's been like you went home and you thought, maybe I'll just do something else?
No, never. I mean, definitely.
Yeah.
There's been many gigs that hasn't flown the way I've wanted it to fly.
Okay.
Or it's been it's a wrong booking or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That has definitely happened, and that will probably happen again.
Okay.
But I mean, it's.
But you haven't had like somebody throwing a drink in your face.
No, nothing like that. I'm pretty good. Like, I tend to like get out of the worst things with like.
You're a people person.
Good communication, but yeah, I've heard of stories of this.
Yeah.
But no. I've never had it like such wild. But definitely there's been.
It's hard.
It's
sometimes.
Hard. It is hard. I mean, you please people and you can't please everybody all the time, and sometimes it's just.
Yeah. Got to please yourself as well.
Exactly, but you learn from it, and the next gig you do better, and then I tend to always. That's a tip, actually.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm at a private gig and I play like a commercial gig thing.
Sure.
And
making money.
Making the money. Yeah.
Making a living.
If a person comes up and then they ask for a track and I sadly don't have it, I always write down that song.
Oh yeah.
So that I have it the next time, just in case that same request comes again, I have it. So, and that's also a good way to build your genre in a genre that you don't play as much. Sure. Because you know what other people think and what they want to hear, and it's the persons on the dance floor you want to play for, right?
Yeah, and it's there. It feels like there's two different roads that you can go down as a DJ.
Yeah.
That you're showcasing a style and a vibe that's yours, and music that you care about, but you don't want to like look at the crowd and look at the how the party's going, because your goal is really just to play your specific sound. And then there's the other road of being liquid and being able to move around to give people that good night that they've come around to that. Yeah. So like, I feel like that's also some good training to don't get too high on your horse. And I need to play my own stuff, because if you can put it in your own stuff everywhere, but if the party's not bumping, like, then it doesn't matter that you play the whole set of your own, like, don't.
Exactly.
It's always difficult.
Yeah.
But you've talked a little of your peaks and maybe some of the hardships of being a DJ, but we're going into the winter now. It's a different, like in Denmark, it's summer and winter is so different from each other. So it's it's a different discipline.
Yeah.
But what are the goals going forward now after this explosive summer you've had?
Yeah. I mean, I'm moving more into the clubs.
Yeah.
I've definitely done a lot of footwork in getting more and more into the clubs, right? So I'm starting to go more in that direction. I have some great clubs night coming up later this year.
Okay.
Some I can't talk about, and but I got some good stuff coming up, both with me and
but
my different teams.
You'll tell me later, right?
I'll tell you later,
Okay,
of course, and
Good.
I'll also tell all the
I don't want to
listeners
be out
in
of the
due
loop.
time. But yes, moving more into that. Next to DJing, I'm also booking DJs at different restaurants and stuff.
Okay, yeah.
So that's also like a way in to keep tabs on the DJ scene, the upcoming DJs.
Yeah. And to have to earn a living within the environment or within the culture, instead of doing your DJ gigs and then doing carpeting or
Exactly.
a school teacher on the other, to earn your money, maybe not by playing but by being there.
Yeah.
So that's always a good idea.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
But is Benster also going to be? He puts on parties. He plays beautiful music. Is he also going to make beautiful music, or is there because you have all the chops, you have all the vibes, you have that whole package? Is there something brewing?
There is something brewing.
Yeah.
I've recently started going in the studio.
Yeah.
With some friends and really cracking down on learning the basics of Ableton.
Okay.
Because I really feel like I need. That's the next
You
step.
need an output like
next,
that. Yeah.
The next part of Benster is that, I think, right? So I'm starting on that, and I'm slowly getting into making edits and stuff.
Okay.
Like Benster edits.
Nice.
Yeah. And then we'll see where that takes me.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Looking forward.
Yeah.
Here
I am too.
Yeah. But how long have you been playing? Have you been playing more than 10 years, right?
I have been DJing since 2008.
Okay. How old were you when you started?
15 years. Oh no, I was 18 when I started.
Okay.
I've DJed for 15 years.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna figure out how old you are now then. But do you have any tips for an upcoming DJ or maybe a completely beginner? How do you start and how do you get gigs and how does it work in the beginning?
Let me say it like this.
Yeah.
A lot of upcoming DJs send me their mixes.
Okay.
I listen to some of them.
Yeah.
I want to listen to everything, of course, but I'm just too busy with other stuff. And I forget the ones that are not delivered. Or, yeah, I'd rather remember the ones that are delivered in a cool way, either face-to-face or with a cool message or with something that I can resonate with.
Okay, yeah.
So basically, upcoming DJs should, instead of just mass emailing or stuff like that, make it personal.
Okay,
Personalize your messages,
so
and preferably meet the person.
Okay, so it's more about the connection.
It's so much about the connection
and the deliverance,
because everybody,
than just the music.
Exactly, and everybody can make a mixtape.
Yeah,
and
pretty easily now. Yeah,
75% of mixtapes sound the same because it's the same house or it's the same vibe. So yeah. It's about the delivery, I would say. At least when it comes to me. That's how you get into me, at least, right?
Yeah, okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, let's get into you.
Yeah. No, but yeah.
Yeah, we're on speaking a different language than we usually do.
Yeah.
So that's why we sometimes get into you.
Yeah. Sometimes we get into you. We don't do the things we would do
But
in
I feel like that's a very good tip, because you can get lost in doing 16 mixes on your SoundCloud and not understanding why nobody's contacting you or why it's not why it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
And even though that mix is beautiful and completely without flaws and stuff, if it hasn't arrived at the person with attention, well, I guess then it's just another.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
it gets lost in the matrix of it, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Because it is like right now, DJing is quite easy to do the basics thing.
Yeah.
The hard thing of DJing is to be empathetic and to feel a crowd and to feed back and forth and to gather music and to do that exploring. But you could just do a list of Spotify top 30 and with new gear and stuff, it pretty easily can just be a mix.
Yeah.
But then you lose all that attention and love, and if you don't show that to a booker or to somebody who can take you further, then it's kind of lost.
100%.
So the contact, the connection, and delivering it in a cassette tape or whatever, like being creative.
Yeah, exactly.
Of how you promote yourself and your music, and it's not only your music; it's more than that.
It's more than that. It is, and that's either a good or a bad thing. I don't know. And with the time we live in, and you need to like be a awesome promoter and stuff, as well as being a slamming DJ, but it's the way it is right now.
But maybe give it 5 years and it's going to be completely different.
Maybe it is then. But, but a friend of mine also talked about quantity over quality, and I was like, I don't know if that's. I mean, if you make 16 mixtapes, it might be that because there's more people can hear it. I mean, there's 16 more things to hear, 15 more things.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I think the word is consistency rather than quantity.
Consistency and quality.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's basically it.
Yeah.
And we would love to have you back doing another mix, and maybe we'll do a nighttime mix, party mix, or we can do whatever you like. Because the apartment is always open to a friend. And you are definitely a friend.
Nice.
And a beautiful soul with a music taste that goes right into me.
Thank you. Cheers. That's
cheers.
That's sweet words. Thank you.